I'm going to explain a Chinese romance drama film called Better Days today. There will be spoilers ahead. Keep an eye out and be cautious. The film begins in a classroom where a young teacher, Chen Nian, is emphasizing the importance of English. Except for one girl who appears to be upset, everyone appears to be paying attention. Chen notices her and remembers something from her past. Following that, the film cuts to a flashback in which Chen is still in high school. She is a bright student who consistently ranks first in her class. With exams approaching, Chen usually wears earphones to avoid distractions and focus on her studies. But one day, a loud commotion wakes her up. Everyone is rushing to the balcony to take in the scenery. Chen joins them and notices her Xiaodi, who is lying on the ground. She appears to have done the unthinkable. Many students gather around her, but instead of assisting, they begin taking photos to post on their social media accounts. Chen approaches her best friend's body slowly and covers it with her jacket, distraught and disgusted. It is then revealed that the entire school knows who did the unthinkable, but they are too afraid to speak out. Chen is summoned to the principal's office during class the next day, where some police detectives have arrived. They question her about whose death and whether or not they were friends. Surprisingly, Chen denies knowing her and claims that she simply covered her face while the other students took pictures of her. The detectives find it difficult to believe, but they let her go. Chen returns to her classroom and discovers red ink on her chair. She then recalls that her best friend, who was also bullied in a similar manner prior to her death. Later, while Chen is in the cafeteria, the bully group's leader, Lei, approaches her and asks for her assistance with the upcoming exams. Chen says she doesn't have time for that, so Lei begins photographing her, just as she used to photograph Hu. It is finally revealed here that the bullies were to blame for Hu's death. They tormented her on a regular basis, which completely broke her down on the inside. Chen is aware of everything, but she is too scared to tell the cops. Lei and the other bullies attack her on her way home because she spoke to the police officers. Despite this, Chen remains silent and returns home, where she finds her mother. It turns out that the latter rarely returns home because she makes a living selling illegal goods. She doesn't want her daughter's studies to be harmed by her business, so she tries to avoid her as much as possible. Before going to bed at night, the mother promises Chen that she will soon buy a new house where they can live happily ever after. She leaves without informing her daughter the next morning. Chen, on the other hand, learns of this and becomes depressed. As she walks home from school in the evening, she notices a group ganging up on a boy named Xiao Bei. Chen decides to call the cops, but one of the boys notices her and confiscates her phone. After that, the group takes all of her money and forces her to kiss Xiao. They then start laughing at her pitiful state, which enraged Xiao even more. He stands up and delivers a brutal punishment on the group's leader, prompting the others to flee. Before leaving, Xiao looks Chen in the eyes but says nothing. The next day, however, he meets with her and expresses his gratitude for saving him. He then asks how much money she was robbed of by the gang. Chen responds, 50 yuan, but Xiao does not have any change. So he offers to repair her phone, which was damaged in the last night's altercation. In exchange for money, Xiao offers to be Chen's bodyguard at the repair shop. She, on the other hand, refuses, claiming that he couldn't even take care of himself yesterday. Later on, Xiao follows her wherever she goes. Chen notices a lot of posters outside her house accusing her mother of not paying her debt on time. She tears every single one of them before storming inside, enraged. Unfortunately, the poster has already gone viral at school, and all of the students make fun of Chen. When she can't take it any longer, she leaves class and goes home. This is something she's never done before. Chen runs into Xiao on her way, and the two eventually start talking. She tells Xiao everything that happened in class, and he tries to console her. He then takes her to his home, a small shabby house hidden beneath a bridge. At night, the two enjoy themselves by eating noodles. Xiao abruptly asks if she likes him, but Chen rudely tells him that he lacks any qualities worthy of admiration. This infuriates Xiao, so he shoves her against the wall and says, "This is how I am." Chen then returns home, crying. Today, the only person who had begun to understand her has placed his hands on her. Chen is completely ignored the next day in gym class. Nobody wants to join her in volleyball. Lei and her friends take advantage of the situation to mercilessly mock her. They even hit her with the volleyball several times. Chen is later pushed down the stairs, but luckily she does not sustain any serious injuries. Chen, fed up with the bullies, decides to tell the police inspector, Zheng, everything. Following that, the police summon Lei and her friends for questioning. They all blame Hu's family situation and character for her death rather than admitting what they did to her. The police release them, but the school suspends the bullies for an entire year. Inspector Zhang calls Chen the next day and offers her a ride. He apologizes for being unable to punish the bullies and bring justice to Hu's death. The bully group is waiting for Chen at the front door that night as she is about to enter her home. They are furious because she reported them to the police and had them expelled from school. They have brought a box of mice with them as a form of retaliation, which they intend to unleash on Chen. Fortunately, the latter escapes and hides inside a garbage can. After the bullies have left, she slowly exits and heads to the only person who can assist her, Xiao. She tells him everything and asks him to protect her despite the fact that she has nothing to offer in return. Xiao starts following Chen to school and escorting her back the next day. She even starts living in his house with him. Because Xiao is a gang member, he frequently returns home beaten and injured. Chen asks him if he is okay when he returns severely injured one day. She even invites him to sleep next to her. Xiao reveals that his father abandoned him at the age of 13 and his mother abandoned him for another man. He also mentions that Chen is the first person to inquire about the severity of his injuries. They've gotten along great since that night. They enjoy each other's company and are amusing when they are together. Chen can also concentrate better on her studies. When Xiao's boss summons him to a fight, she intervenes, knowing that he will be beaten up again. Surprisingly, Xiao follows orders and stays at home. Unfortunately, Xiao is arrested one day for being a suspect in a robbery case. He and his friends are taken to the police station and detained until the perpetrator is apprehended. Meanwhile, Chen is on her way home from school and calls Xiao to accompany her. When he does not answer the phone, she reluctantly decides to walk home. Wei and her bully group, however, find her alone and begin beating her up. They punch her, cut her hair, and even strip her down to her underwear. They also videotape the entire thing in order to blackmail her later. But before they can injure her seriously, a passerby notices them and threatens to call the police. When the bullies hear this, they flee, leaving a bruised and humiliated Chen on the road. Xiao is soon released from the police station and calls Chen, but she does not answer. Concerned, he rushes to his location and discovers Chen injured and attempting to tape her torn notebooks. Xiao is enraged by the sight. He grabs a metal rod and prepares to kill all the bullies, but Chen intervenes. Later, he shaves her hair to make it even and shaves his own to make her feel better. Wei approaches Chen one night and apologizes for her mistakes. She even offers her money and begs her not to report her wrongdoings to the police. She is afraid that she will have to repeat the grade, and that her father, who hasn't spoken to her in a year, will become even more enraged. Chen apologizes and instructs her not to show her face again. When she tries to leave, Wei follows her and begins criticizing her mother. Chen is so enraged by this that she pushes the bully down the stairs. Wei hits her head on the concrete floor and dies on the spot as she watches. Chen, terrified, rushes to Xiao and tells him what has happened. She is now afraid of being arrested and sentenced to death. Xiao, on the other hand, comforts her by promising to dispose of Wei's body. He then pays a visit to a friend and borrows his car for the night. Following that, Xiao takes Wei's body to a remote location and buries it with evidence that will lead the police back to him. Chen, on the other hand, is very anxious, so she focuses on her final exam to distract herself. The day of the exam, it rains heavily, and the authorities advise students to leave early in order to arrive at school on time. Landslides also occur on a significant portion of the highway. A driver discovers Wei's body while clearing the landslide. Further investigation reveals information about the car Xiao used that night. They track down the owner and eventually get information on Xiao. Wei's friends are also taken to the police station for questioning, and they blame Chen directly for her death. Meanwhile, Officer Zheng discovers the video of Chen being humiliated by Wei and suspects her of murder. As a result, Chen is taken to the police station and questioned about where she was on the day Wei died. Chen responds that she was preoccupied with final exams. When asked why she didn't report the humiliation to the police officers, she says that all she wanted was to get out of there and study in Beijing. After more than an hour of questioning, the police escort her back to her residence, but they decide to keep a close eye on her. The next day, as Chen was walking home from school, Xiao approached her and led her to the basement of an abandoned building. He closes the door, leaving all of the cops outside. Xiao wants Chen to blame him for assaulting her so that the police will believe he also assaulted Wei. That way, they could release Chen and charge him with Wei's death. Chen, as expected, refuses, but when Xiao explains that he is a minor and will not face a harsh sentence, she agrees. When the police arrive after a while, he acts as if he is assaulting her and is arrested. Officer Zheng then examines CCTV footage and discovers that Xiao has been following Chen for quite some time. When asked why he did it, Xiao says he was just stalking her. Chen is also brought in for questioning about Wei's death. She denies any involvement, and claims she doesn't know Xiao. Xiao also acts as if he is unfamiliar with Chen. He was simply stalking her because she was attractive. Chen is released after reviewing all of the statements due to a lack of evidence. Xiao, on the other hand, is imprisoned. Chen has been living with her mother for several days now. She tries to concentrate on her studies, but she can't because her mind is filled with memories of her time with Xiao. She misses him terribly and frequently sobs in desperation. The only good news is that she does well in her exams, making her mother proud. Officer Zhen pays Chen a visit one evening and congratulates her on graduating first in her class. However, he also reveals that Xiao has been sentenced to death for the severity of his previous crimes. Chen, perplexed, begins to cry and claims that it is impossible because Xiao is a minor. Officer Zhen, however, informs her that this is a lie. Xiao is in fact 23 years old. Hearing this, Chen goes insane and begins attacking the officer. Officer Zhen finally admits to her that he was only lying about the death penalty to calm her down. But now that he knows they're related, he wants Chen to tell the truth. She is hesitant, but the officer promises that if they are truthful, their sentences will be reduced. Chen later visits Xiao in jail and informs him that she has confessed everything. She is now being transferred to another prison, where her life will be destroyed. The relief she has found by confessing, on the other hand, is priceless. The film then flashes forward to the present, where Chen has grown up to become an English teacher. She has moved on from her criminal past and is looking to start a new career. Chen recalls how she was tormented as a child when she notices the silent child. The film concludes with Chen escorting the child all the way home, encouraging her to fight the bullies. Behind them is Xiao, who still follows Chen wherever she goes.